Today on Austin Stories, this is the dumbest HOA Karen president imaginable because she ruins herself like this, and Karen has a delivery from OP and it's worse than he thought. All my videos are in podcast form, so check out the Austin Stories podcast on your local provider or the link in the description below. Here we go. HOA president just did the dumbest thing imaginable. Posted by Insurance Throwaway 123. Backstory: I own a bunch of rentals in a bunch of communities. I'm no stranger to HOAs and legal battles. I have a company attorney on retainer. I just moved into a community and finally bought myself a house that I plan to stay in for a while. A month after closing, construction starts. Permits pulled all legal work during the day, follow all the CCRs, and so on. Karen recently got elected to the board, and in her own words, the war is on. This war started when I requested the following: HOA financial documents, 2 months, and they have not produced. A temporary reasonable accommodation after a major surgery. I was told to go screw myself. Her husband changing his oil in the parking lot. I got it on video on my security cam. And so far, I've received 4 violation notices. Speeding in the parking lot, a political sign, which is the opponent to her political sign, in the front yard, a violation of peaceful enjoyment, which is construction noise, and finally harassing the HOA. This one was a cease and desist. Also, destruction of community property for washing my car with a hose. So my attorney goes to work on the upcoming fight. My attorney BCCs me on all emails to the association and the management company. I wish that I was making this up. I mean, Karen is so freaking stupid, she replied all on an email meant for just the property manager. A few snippets. I'm going to keep finding him and make his life heck. He is a nightmare and a punk kid with too much money. We're going to drown him in lawyer's fees and send him the bill until he finally submits to me. This is now personal. I'm on a mission to show that punk kid with his parents' money that I'm the dang president and he will do as I say. My lawyer called me 6 times at 10:30 last night and said, "Holy crap, check your email." 9 a.m., my attorney sent a cease and desist to the entire board and included a copy of the email. Mine and his phone have been blowing up non-stop from the 4 other board members and their attorney trying to just talk. This woman may be the stupidest person on earth. I honestly cannot wait to see the fallout from this. Now, I don't want to sue the association or get paid. I just want the board to make decisions that have good, positive impacts on the community and raise my property value. Suing the board, honestly, does nothing. The insurance company pays or it comes from reserve funds. Nothing happens to them personally because they are indemnified. I have only sued when I really have to. Last year, I won an ADA judgment against another property where I have a disabled tenant. I wound up giving the tenant half and donated a dog park to the community under the condition that the current administration resigns. My attorney is trying to figure out a way to get around her indemnity as a board member and go after her personally. Personally, HOA board members should be required to have licensure through the state, similar to realtors, and a state oversight committee. It's insane. Things need to be resolved in court with enormously expensive lawyers. An update. I'm going to sum this up and give as much detail as I can. I've also been drinking since noon, so this may be a little jumbly, and I apologize in advance. My phone, Facebook, LinkedIn, all social presence stopped getting blown up by the other board members after the attorney made it clear to leave me alone. It's becoming harassment. Of course, due to COVID-19, courts are closed. The attorney sent them letters stating what his hourly rate was and they would be receiving a bill if it doesn't stop, and that seemed to work. Last night, my attorney calls and asked if I'd be willing to hop on a Zoom call with the entire board, Karen included, and the association's attorney. My attorney came to my house and we hopped on the call together. Their lawyer started off aggressive, stating that my harassment of the board would not be tolerated and blah blah blah. My guess would be to intimidate us? My attorney shared the screen with the email open and silence. We assumed Karen told the rest of the board what had happened, but apparently she didn't give all the details, just that there was an email exchange and apparently I was being aggressive. My attorney and I aren't quite sure what they were all thinking, but once they all read the email, silence, and Karen immediately hopped off of the Zoom call. The VP asked if we can take a recess and call us right back in a few minutes. 10 minutes later, attorney gets an email with Karen's immediate resignation. We all hop back on the call, less Karen. The other 4 board members could not stop apologizing and kept asking the attorney why they were not informed of the brevity of the situation. He quickly hopped off the call, and we assume he won't be representing the association anymore. The other 4 members said that they would need to confer with counsel moving forward, but they will make this right. For right now, the board told me that I can leave my political signs up, but to just ignore Karen until they can figure out what to do. Unfortunately, in something to do with Homestead, your house is protected against litigation, but my attorney did draft a demand letter to Karen personally for damages. Because the courts are closed, we can't serve her until the stay-in-place order is lifted and the courts reopen. But it was made clear that Karen is to have zero contact with me, my family, my property, and so on. We are not waiting until the remaining board hires new representation next week, and we expect some sort of settlement request. Nothing super exciting, but she was fired immediately. They are also going to start searching for a new property management next week, but I'll update when we hear something. Side note, I was walking my dog this morning, and Karen was outside and walked right up to me and started petting my dog like nothing happened. I have 300 cameras in front of my house that caught the entire thing. I asked her 3 times to back away and to stop. I put him back inside. The poor guy only got a 2-minute walk, and we called the police, who made it clear to her that if they have to come out again, she will be going to jail. In short, she isn't indemnified by the HOA and is no longer on the board. This is going to cost her and the HOA major bucks. And we did make it clear that we don't want any of the community's money, as it will only hurt the other homeowners. Karen is royally screwed. So the craziest thing about this is like the dumbest Karen ever to just launch out all those emails, just completely revealing her evil plans to just do really bad stuff to the OP in a really wrong way. And of course, you do not put the email of the person in send until you are ready to send it, but this doesn't help her. So she does this, she lies about it, the board gets together, they're like, holy crap, we didn't know Karen did this somehow. And then she gets fired immediately, goes back to OP, caught on all the cameras, hit with that legally, and then holy cow, she is going to jail if she does anything again, per the police. The fallout of this ridiculous Karen is immensely massive, and we found out what true idiocy leads to when you're the HOA president, Karen. Way to go, OP. I get injured on a delivery, and Karen berates me because the delivery is taking longer than usual, posted by Nomadicus Rex. I don't even know how this is going to go, but we gotta dive in. It's gonna be crazy. Here we go. So, last night was fun. I am disabled due to a hit-and-run driver. I don't get disability, so on my good days, when my back isn't hurting too much, I do delivery for a popular online retailer that also owns a chain of grocery stores. Last night, I start my delivery shift. Of course, Karen's being Karen's, the first order, which is upstairs, also includes cases of water and gallons of water, because of course it does. Since this apartment complex decides that 24-point type is an appropriate script to write their unit numbers on instead of anything that, say, a paramedic or a delivery person could see from any distance, I'm out of my car, on foot, looking for the apartment, since Karen did not answer either my text message or phone calls asking for help locating her delivery location. While I am on foot, heading back to my car because I think I've spotted the correct building number, a large and aggressive dog comes at me. I run and get in my car, but not without falling, twisting my ankle, and biting down so hard that I chipped a tooth, which sucks. I get in the car. and the dog is now gone. I don't know where he went. Did the owner of the dog catch it? I don't know. I was in the car in pain, catching my breath. So I call our on-the-road support folks, who generally are pretty helpful, and get permission to return this delivery to the store. And then Karen calls me back. I don't know why I answered. My can-do customer service instincts, but I told support, hold on, it looks like the customer is actually calling me back. Let me see if I can get this order delivered. Oh man. So I answer. Karen starts demanding why I haven't delivered the order yet, and I told her, hey, I just got injured by one of your neighbor's dogs. My ankle is hurt. Can you please just give me a little help here finding your place? I just want to get your groceries. And Karen goes on a rant about how the groceries aren't for her, they are for her daughter, who is a nursing student with a large protective dog. And her daughter normally uses a folding wagon for groceries, and maybe she'll come down and help me grab those groceries. Nope, Karen's daughter does not want to do that, but she'll make sure to keep her large protective dog inside. I'm left wondering if this is the same dog that tried to eat my liver. I told Karen, that's okay. While I am expected to deliver the groceries to the door, dispatch has given me permission to return the order to the store. I can complete the order, the pain in my ankle hasn't set in that much, adrenaline and all, and Karen insists on me staying the whole time on the phone with her. And the whole time she's going on and on about how she wanted the delivery completed by a certain time, and now it's not going to be delivered on time. I told her, hey, I understand that. I didn't expect to have a dog come after me either, nor get hurt, but I'm completing the delivery in spite of being injured. Why was I so stupid? I couldn't put much weight on my ankle, so I couldn't carry as much as usual, and it took me a long time. So it took me about 4 to 5 trips to get this lady's stuff all in front of her daughter's door. The nursing student daughter who never so much as poked her head out to see if I was okay. Karen was angry at me the whole time, talking about how I raised her blood pressure so much that her chest was hurting. What? Huh? How's that? By delivering her grocery order and taking longer than usual to do so? I don't know yet if she called the company to complain, but it was the next to worst delivery I've ever been on. The worst being in 2018, where some yahoo out in the middle of nowhere decided to shoot at me for bringing them something that they ordered. Thankfully, the guy was a bad shot, and no, they did not get their delivery and were banned forever, but the police did nothing to the dude. So, it's the next day. I slept for like 10 or 11 hours, and I'm posting this. My ankle seems to have a mild sprain, my other foot hurts, and my tooth, it's still chipped. I'm waiting back to see if I'll get paid for the amount of time I had to work over thanks to this nonsense. Independent contractor work, yay. Fun times. An update. P.S. I don't know about most of y'all, but if someone was injured bringing me food, I would want to see that they were all right. I most certainly would be kind and sympathetic if it took a few extra minutes for them to bring me the food. I could have just not answered Karen's call, taken the groceries back to the store when I was done with my other deliveries, and still would have been paid. At worst, I would have missed out on a tip, if Karen actually tipped at all, but I also would have been paid for the extra time it took me to take those groceries back to the store. So, completing that order most definitely went against my best interest, and I'm left wondering if the dog that came after me was Karen's daughter's dog. People in this area can be so irresponsible about dogs, and look, I love doggos, they're my favorite critters. Holy Toledo OP, I mean, you went the extra mile, the extra marathon, have you? And then the Karen is still ungrateful, the daughter doesn't come out to help, which is probably Karen 2.0 Jr. right there, and then the dog, we're left wondering, did they sick the dog on OP? I sure hope not. But all being said, Karen needs to go get her own groceries. She can do it herself. She's a big girl, she can handle it, she's an adult, but you know what, OP? Thank you for being a kind soul, and I am sorry that Karen here could not see through what was going on, your injuries, and everything else that happened, despite all of that. Way to go, OP, and Karen, what are you doing, lady? What are you doing? Let me know what you think in the comments, or if you're on the podcast, come over to YouTube and let me know there. Takeout fires back at Karen, posted by Carl. This one is hilarious. Karen leaves a review on a site, 2.25 stars, saying, "The wrap was all soggy, so I couldn't eat it. Just ate the chicken and the burgers. We're missing food that was advertised." What? So then the restaurant comes back and says, "Hi Karen, had a look into your order. You ordered 2 burger meals and a wrap and chips, which were all packed and sent out to you. We can only deliver what you order. Maybe cut down on your drinking and then you won't forget what you ordered." That's hilarious because typos and all, they literally just come in and prove this Karen wrong, saying, "Hey, you're essentially lying. You are lying in your review and giving us low stars to boot." That's funny, short, and hilarious. HOA Karen fraud doctor's license revoked because she did this. You don't want to miss the fallout of this crazy story. Click it on your screen right here, and I will see you in that next one.